Oh, shoot. No, 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 not that. welcome everybody to DA League Season 5 week. This is going to sound weird. 3. I'm not going to hide it. It's a VOD of an old match that we never got around to casting. Tried once or twice to have it streamed, but then again, casters like not showing up. It happens. If they're not free, they're not free. It's been a while since we saw you on stream. Was it like grand final of like 2 seasons ago or something like that? Well, crazy long.
I have no clue. Honestly, I have absolutely no clue. But you know what? I'm here now, and I'm ready. I'm ready to cast. I'm ready to be present. I'm ready to be here in the moment of this VOD. We have a really nice game lined up for y'all. It's going to be Mystic Academy versus Valkyrie. And tell me a little bit about them. Tell me a little bit about these teams, what we're going to expect from them, what we can see, and what about the map that we're going to be seeing.
You're putting me on the spot, aren't you?
I am.
So, yeah. Team Mystic, during the qualifiers, they played under the name of Unreal Nightmare. So if you, miss like the last 4 weeks of play, you think to yourself they're a new team. They're not a new team. The players are the same core roster. They just happen to join another org, and now they're playing under a different name and a different banner, but they are the same team that did qualify. Valkyrie did not change up too much, so there's really nothing new under the sun there. For what it's worth, if you take a look at the standings, I know they're not on screen right now. I should probably get some sort of graphic asset to display them. But hear my beautiful voice. Team Mystic Academy and Valkyrie, unfortunately, they are near the bottom of the group. Both ranked respectively 6th and 7th. So it's a bit delicate to say, but at this point, I mean, we are heading deeper and deeper into the main season, and the more the gap between like the bottom and the top teams widens, the less and less odds they have of making playoffs, even if they were to just start winning like their matches right now like crazy. So are we playing the match just for the sake of it? I don't mean to be like dismissive of their struggles and the energy and effort they're pouring into the season. But then again, I mean, the numbers are going to be hard to overcome. That's my 2 cents.
Right. I mean, there has to be a grounding there of what a team can expect to accomplish and what a team can dream to accomplish, you know? The truth is always in the middle, and I feel as though there truly is so much you can do, right? Just kind of echo your thoughts. There's only so much you can do as a team to say, okay, we're going to work on this, we're going to work on that, and we're going to get better, great for the rest of the season. Well, there's you can expect by the time that playoffs hit and by the time that the season ends. But of course, you know, there always is going to be future seasons. There always is going to be other leagues in. So, you know, if for the future, this could be a basis to serve, a foundation, if you will, for teams to say, hey, you know, this is what we did. This is what we accomplished. We can do more with our time, with our players, etc., etc. Now, like you said, Mystic is, I believe, if we were able to pull up a graphic, are you able to do that?
I don't have one. I'm sorry, I don't have one.
No, you don't have those standings? Okay.
Well, I mean, they were displayed right before we went live. Yeah. But it's like a sliding asset. I can't really pause it, but yeah. You know what? It is displayed right now, so no, let's not try and finagle something on real time. Yeah, Valkyrie, Team Mystic Academy is second to last. Valkyrie is third to last. For what it's worth, the dead last team did forfeit their matches. So, like on a actual like players, what the players are worth scale, you could say that Mystic Academy are dead last, as unfortunate as it sounds.
Right. So here is my math in it, my woman in STEM moment going on here. Okay. So Mystic Academy, of course, you know, is technically, you know, technicalities based on the other Mystic team, they're last. Now, Valkyrie right now is second to last, but if you were to look at the points, which I did right before our stream live.
Let's have a look.
I was able to see that Valkyrie has exactly double the points of Mystic Academy, and with only matches played, it means that, you know, each one match is worth, or 2 matches won, sorry. Each one match is worth 3 points, I believe. So, if we put that together, Mystic Academy has 3 points, Valkyrie has 6 points. So if Mystic Academy were to win this, they would be at the same exact standing as Valkyrie, and of course Valkyrie would move, they wouldn't gain any points. Mystic Academy would take home all of those points, and they would be able to be at the same exact point as Valkyrie. They would both be tied for 6th instead of Mystic Academy just being 7th and being dead last. So I think that if Mystic Academy were to muster up the courage, muster up the motivation to win out the match, this could prove to be very helpful cause in climbing up leaderboards. However, it's going to be Valkyrie shut down this team and prevent them from gaining their points, and of course for Valkyrie to be tied for 6th.
You know what? I think this is an amazing recap or introduction to the teams. If we were to talk about the match itself, here come the map bans. In just a few seconds,
oh, beautiful! I like that. Intro. I like that. I like that was like that was a cute transition.
It's the first time somebody has been this full of compliments for the transition specifically. To be fair,
I have to respect you because you and I have worked together for so long, and I know your production prowess and I know exactly what you accomplish. So for me, it's like, oh my god, wow, cute transitions. Like this is Hans, like this is your hand. So I
gotta say, map ban deserves all the credit. It's just a map ban browser source.
You know what? you can't be limiting yourself here. You have to take some credit. You have to be like, this is me. This is all me. This is not an outside source thing.
I did take the time to embed the map ban thing in my OBS, so I guess that counts.
Exactly. So you gotta give yourself credit where it's due. You gotta give yourself some credit. Okay.
Cafe Dostoyevsky, Clubhouse, Chalet. Yes. Actually, it's not Chalet's Coastline. Since I had to recreate the map bans, I didn't misclick on the last one. Coastline would be the third map if applicable. Sorry about that. But let's talk about Cafe and Clubhouse because this is where everything will be played. I mean, if you win or lose badly, your morale will be shattered, broken for the third map. If you give it your all on the second map, well, then you are going to be tired. Stamina is not going to be there anymore. And I mean, let's talk about this more if we were to go into a third map. But you know how the defense can just afford to sit there and wait, whereas the attack really has to get together, coordinate something, and make things happen. So, when being tired becomes a bigger and bigger factor as the games progress, the attacking team is going to take the bigger hit compared to the defenders, which, if you want to delve deeper into that, could come at play with what are the spawn sides, right? If you want to start defending first, you have the easier side and hopefully gain some momentum to carry you through the harder attacking side, or do you want to attack first whilst you're still alert and everything and take the easier side while you are going to be slipping a little bit so that your opponents makes those mistakes on the hard side and they stack up? And I'm delving down a rabbit hole. I should probably stop myself right here.
Basically, let's take a look at Cafe, right? We have Cafe as a map. Team Mystic chose it, okay? So clearly they're a little bit more confident than, potentially, of course, than Valkyrie on this map. Of course, Valkyrie is going to choose defense. That is of no surprise to us as casters because we know that Cafe is in its core and its crux, it's going to be a defense-sided map. However, Team Mystic, with this being their map pick, chances are they're going to have those attacking strategies. They're going to have at least some form of preparation for Cafe Dostoyevsky. So we have to assume that they are going to be very least prepared for what is to come on this first map. Now, Clubhouse has a little bit more of a fleshed out meta, even though these two maps are still very much base maps. You still have to factor that Clubhouse has been played a lot more. It's been, it has been played so much to its death. It is like a dead horse that has been beaten over and over and over again. Now, I'm getting morbid. Exactly what I mean. This is a crazy map that has been played so many different ways, so many different times, so you know what to expect on Clubhouse. Now, as for Coastline, you said that Coastline is the last map to be played?
Yes, correct. Once again, the graphic is wrong. Apologies for that.
Right. That if Coastline were to be played out, that would definitely be our kind of mystery map, our surprise factor.
It being the new map, yeah, in the rotation.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a new map rotation
anymore.
It's been played quite a few times, but I am going to say Coastline. It could go either way, right? It is Valkyrie's pick from what it looks to be, but of course we know that Coastline is more attacker sided than most maps do favor, and for that reason, it can be definitely an interesting map to see played. It can be an interesting map to see the meta on, to see the different operator picks. You know, it is not your normal, you get 2-2-2 or a 2-2-1 type thing going on. It's not right. So that's really what's going to be our interesting map pick going on here. But of course, the first two, they're kind of pretty standard, right? You got House. So I'm still excited to see them, Cafe specifically, but Clubhouse, it's probably going to be very standard.
So here is my 2 cents with
Your 2
Coastline.
cents.
You mentioned like it being like I said the new map. You say it's not new anymore, right? I mean, Bank is new of like just a few months. However,
Yeah.
this is T3, and I mean T3 because I personally can count on the on like a single hand how many times I have casted Coastline, because even in a best of 3, people are gonna stick to Aragon, Clubhouse, Cafe, maybe Villa, right? I have yet to cast the new bank once because people never ever play it. Why is that relevant? Well, yes, of course, people know how to play Coastline. But if you're not divulging your strategies by not playing or like giving any opportunity to your opponents to like counter strat you or anything like that, botting, all that good stuff, well, it might as well be a new map that you've played, that you happen to have played on rank, but as far as like proper comp is concerned, not exactly new anymore. So yeah, this is just my 2 cents. Playing devil's advocate, not that you're wrong, but the context I feel could be slightly different than what would be expected otherwise. I mean, if you come from like watching like literally like Pro League, they're playing every map 10 times a day because that's all they do. We are not on that level, unfortunately. But
right, definitely. Yeah, no. I definitely agree with you. You know, the 3 main maps you always have going on are Coast, Oregon, and Cal. Those are going to be maps that you see in almost every single T3 game that you will spectate. So, of course, you know, those are your 3 main, but then you do have the outlier map said, and those maps. So, yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on that. But if I were to see Bank or if I were to see Coastline, I wouldn't necessarily. I wouldn't be like, oh, this is you know a unplayed map, so to speak. This is not going to be fun. There's not going to be much strategy to pick out of it. I still have hope for these T3 teams that they can pull together some form of strategy that is beyond rank capabilities. And for that reason, I think it would still most definitely be interesting to watch. Now, is that going to happen? We don't know until we're going to see it. But still a very nice thought to kind of comb over.
I mean, we are in the middle, roughly, of the main season, and Bank has yet to be played once. So, can we maybe force the players' hands with a best of 5 in the grand final?
Yes.
That's all I got, man, at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Let's hope. Let's hope. Because, by the way, except if something changes, and there's a reason why we are getting that ready this early, but Jenna should be there for the grand final, so I suppose you're gonna be motivated for that too. You know what? I'm gonna say sarcastically, I think the players are ready. So should we maybe
yeah.
get
Yeah,
into?
you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the idea
Yeah.
is if we just keep on talking without pause, well, then people are gonna say start the game. So why don't we start the game? You know?
Let's actually get into it, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
DLHF is getting into the chat, and
Cafe Dostoevsky. I
yes.
am excited for this one. This is really where the tone is set in our best of, right? This is, of course, Mystic Academy's pick. And Valkyrie's on defense for this one. So, you know, you have 2 sides going at this, right? Mystic Academy, they're most likely going to be more played through on this map. However, Valkyrie, they do have the favored side. So you really have to see which, I guess, part of that, you know, thought, that theory, that thought track is going to really prevail. I think that, you know, Miss Academy, they still could prevail on this, you know, being dogs. I'm going to give them in favoring them as,
Man,
even though we should be unbiased, you know, unbiased.
Let me just get, I just realized the VOD is on a track where my audio was included in there. Okay, yeah, now we should not hear me anymore. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, slight issue. Sorry. Once again, so if we look at those operator bans, I totally cut you off. So anything you want to add on to like Valkyrie ban? Because that would be like the latest thing you were going to mention, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. So, Flores ban, first of all. Valkyrie ban, Mira ban. So, those three bans, Thatcher, Valkyrie, Mira, you know, they're very standard, right? I like the...
Yeah. I
little
hope it...
bit...
Okay.
My Wi-Fi cut out, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of did.
Darn. All right.
But you're back.
Well, I'm back now. Yeah, it cuts out momentarily. It's an issue with my stupid school Wi-Fi. But anyways, so as I was saying, the only band that really stands out to me, of course, being a caster that has not casted this meta, this map in a very long time, is Flores for sure. I like that there is a Flores band. You know, that there's each band that isn't just in the ordinary standard anti type of, you know, like operators that you just don't necessarily want to play, and still hard breach centered. That is Flores, because Flores is in a way he's very unique, right? He's unlike any operator that we have seen before, and he presents that type of danger to any wall, to any hard reachable wall. So you really taking him out, I feel like, is a very good opportunity for defenders to take away a very important operator in a very new meta, and a very stabilized meta with Flores. So go for it, right?
I mean, on top of that, the amount of self-destruction that you can have on this map is pretty intense. I mean, the easiest example would be that pixel angle shield. If you can sneak in a drone behind a smoke, there's no capital here, but I mean, just imagine for half a second. You can see how a drone could circumvent any and all ADS devices and my magnets, as we're going to see early spawn peek attempts. Wesley is going to take some amount of damage, deals none in return, and will get healed up due to the surge boost. So, very, very small victory for Korn. I'm not sure how you pronounce the entire gamer tag here. So yeah, Korn already like putting the offense on the back foot. They know there's a roamer. They know they're gonna have to flush him out. As you can see, see there's a drone. There's Kaiko. Weston was holding an angle on the other side of the map. I don't believe Jaeger's there anymore, but the potential to waste time as the attackers are like chasing Ghost right now is still pretty present. And Merry Mental gets a first kill, first pick of the round. And two roamers together can be actually a really big headache for the attackers. As another gunfight erupts. No, but he does go down. Oh, Merrimental now in a 1v. How many bodies do the attackers want to throw at them? 3 maybe?
Yeah, 1v potentially 3, right? I mean, you don't necessarily know that the Jaeger is down low. That could be the saving grace of the defense going on here. They're going to be coming up from below. Oh my word, that was a very, very nice vertical play. Headshot coming from the sledge. A double kill, we'll say, for the sledge now. 4v2 though. We have Vinko grabbing 1 kill from above, I believe. So now 4v2 absolutely huge. Or sorry, I should say low. We got Wamai and we got Warden, the 2 remaining players left up on the board. And in about a 130 attacking scenario, you have a lot of time to work with, you have a lot of utility to work with for the attack. They don't need to rush this, they don't need to do anything out of the ordinary that would allow the defense to take advantage of any potential situation that the attack might find. So, of course, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a lion boost on here. Finka, very 2 important operators seemingly in this attacking setup going on here. Very, we got a nade being thrown from below and reading, so a little bit of below vertical play coming through, and a very well placed nade for Kaiko. That's a very nice frag. Very, very nice frag. A triple kill for him, leaving 1 remaining player left up on the board for the defense.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is going to be in a hard spot. That MP5K is an underrated headshot machine, but, I mean, numbers do end up adding up, right? 1v4 situation, diffuser being planted, somebody back upstairs on the skylight. So flanking and roaming potential for Wi-Fi is severely limited. Diffuser does go down, and I don't see how he can win this, as if the guy on top was to not peek in a stupid fashion, the round is basically lost. There's somebody on the other window as well. To the hard right, there is going to be Kaiko. You can just sense how he's desperate for any kind of break, gets a kill. Gonna try to bait it out a little bit, but you just know the guys on the window are gonna peek, and they are gonna peek in such a way to waste as much time as possible. Looks like Klein dropped down here, gets another kill. Still 16 seconds to go, 2 kills left. This is just not going to add up. Unfortunately, Weston just waiting, biding their time. 2 more seconds, and it's no longer going to be able to be won. And there you have it. Mystic Academy winning the first round with a hefty advantage, I want to say.
Hefty advantage, but almost lost. That could have been a very, very bad scenario for the attack to find themselves in. The saving grace there, though, was those window players on Cocktail, so good positioning from them all around, and being able to waste out that time for Wamai while time was very much ticking was absolutely huge, right? Wamai eventually had to push the players on the window, and it ended up being a pretty good situation for Wi-Fi himself. But yeah, very, very nice down for the Finka, and I feel like the MVP of this round is definitely going to have to be that Sledge, right? We see in the replay a very nice blow. He's going to get a nade kill and a kill from the hallway. So just all around, you know, very nice positioning, very nice aim. You know, great mechanical skill going on there. And I mean, outside of that, it was a very standard attack, right? You see a lot of window play. You see a lot of below situating of the attackers. That's not necessarily out of piano play though, which was interesting to me. They did have an ace up on the board, but the ace wasn't really not a lot of pushing going on, just a lot of gunfire. A lot of gunfire and a lot of frag grenades.
Yeah, I gotta say, I do like what I see though, because you did mention that it's maybe a little bit odd to not see Mystic go for piano. Not playing in the defender's hands is absolutely something that you might want to commend the attackers for. On top of that, it might not be that they're playing 3D chess, as Spider gets the first kill in Merriman. So once again, trying to go for the spawn peaks. This time, however, they are going to get their hands burned. And burnt off a second time. Korn doing the exact same thing that got their teammates killed mere moments before. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. However, Shrady seems to have the skill to actually prompt different results. So props where props is due, but still, you know, 3v4 situation, roughly only 30 seconds played. That is absolutely light speed as far as like Rainbow Six standards are concerned. The attack this time will not be running after roamers, thus entering through the first floor, thus walking up the stairs. Thus, we might maybe see a piano push after all. Weston definitely is positioning themselves to do just that. Did your net crash just as I passed it up to you?
No, it was my mic. It was my mic.
Gotcha.
We're not gonna talk about that. However, I do love the window play. I feel like some players, especially at lower levels, stray away from those windows because they don't necessarily feel like they can take the gunfight. So I definitely like the confidence going on here for the attack and in taking those window plays and taking fight to the defenders. But player is going to be situated in piano. We see that the ace has indeed opened up that top red wall to get into the piano, and now the player of Warden has backed off a little bit from the piano corner, the little pixel peak corner, and as I say Warden, I mean Lamont, of course. But there's going to be a very long angle held. Unfortunately, that angle does get lost to the Finka. Finka coming in with the LNG, a very, very powerful gun. You cannot discount that player, especially from long distances. But another kill going on for the attack. I believe it was going to be the Buck going down now in 1v3 scenario. If you were going to leave up a 1v3 to anybody, I feel like it would be Burnt Turkey, especially on the team of Valkyrie, but unfortunately not going to win that one. A very, very long in SMG11. It wasn't necessarily going to be a one angle for the defense, but of course a very nice try overall. I feel like that round was quite linear in the way that the attack played it. What do you think?
2 times in a row, if I was to just mention this, 2 times in a row that you see the attack having like a hefty upper hand. Valkyrie tried to go for the clutch, you know, on round 1, not quite getting it, but I feel like this is relevant because clutch factor alone is unreliable as far as like winning rounds is concerned. Therefore, Mystic Academy really are into the driver's seat. I know this does not quite answer the question you just asked, but I feel it's like a parallel response which does touch up on the same subjects you were mentioning before.
So, I feel like Finka and Sledge are... they've been pretty paramount in this attacking strategy, right? I mean, not only just their guns, but their abilities too, right? You have a lot of utility coming from the Sledge, and you have a lot of reaching capabilities. We saw that from... I believe it was actually from first round. We saw a little bit of Sledge coming in, some sledgehammer action going on, and of course we've been seeing Finka throughout these past 2 rounds just in general. They heal their teammates and being able to give that little bit of a boost needed to get into the objective or make a push, do whatever is needed, and you know, the LMG, cannot sleep on that LMG. It is a very, very powerful gun. Know that. So for Finka to be using it to the fullest advantage is something we want to see from this team. However, Lion's gonna be played once more. Tell me about that, huh?
So Lion is the kind of operator that is interesting. I don't want to say all or nothing. Like, Lion's gadget has been nerfed into oblivion if you were to go back to when he was first released. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. But the idea is, it's quite rare that you get, like, Lion to directly lead to a kill because a defender has been tagged and, you know, now that you know where they are, you can actually shoot at them. So, are you just playing them for the gun? It's not as if, like, the rest of the gadget was pretty good. Flash grenades are not the best kind of secondary utility. So, the gun and basically paralyzing the defense when it's time to actually execute a plant on bomb site or a push on bomb site. This is where Lion becomes good, I feel like. Like, the anti-roam playstyle that he had, like, eons ago is now gone, and gone for good. I guess that makes sense, because the defense isn't bringing that many roamers to the table. I say, as we're going to see right here, Kaiko fighting for their lives. Dazed as he is, nobody takes damage. Well, Mermental did, actually. My bad. And falling away, the attackers really are going to be the uncontested masters of the top floor. Yeah, the attackers are blue, so the blue set right next to Buck is not an enemy. So my theory there is going to be validated. Top floor control with half of the round remaining. This is good for the attack. But as always, breaching the top floor can get you a kill or two. Eventually, you're going to have to set foot on OBJ itself. And this is where Smoke and Echo and anybody else with a gun can spoil your day.
Well, we got Burnt Turkey sitting below. Look, opportunity to Nitro a player. And there you have it. There's another Nitro actually going down. It seems to be a defender's playhouse going on so far. And Mystic can't really do much about it, right? Because we don't necessarily know where those C4s are going to be thrown from. But 2 C4s are down now and only 1 kill off the board. So it does appear to be that all of those C4s have been used up, so no more explosive damage to be dealt to those attackers, but they still have to make the execute happen, right? They have about 40 seconds left on the clock. It is a 4v5 at the current moment. You don't have any more soft breaching from the Sledge. You don't have any more of those grenades going on. Has used up all of her grenades, so unfortunately, not as much utility as you would want going into this execute, but you still do have about 20 seconds left, and it seems to be that the attackers are going to have to use that to their fullest advantage. Look to be a little bit of a very hard push, a very aggressive push going on in here. 2v5 already, as the defense has taken advantage in that corner, and only one more player in 1v3. It's that ace left up on the board, and unfortunately goes down to the Mossberg shotgun from Burnt Turkey.
At that range, you cannot really challenge a shotgun and reasonably hope to survive. He was lucky to stay alive as long as he did, merely and only because Mute missed out their 2 first shots. So Valkyrie is going to take the first round, or their first round, rather. A pretty interesting victory. I mean, the way Mystic lost is kind of the antithesis of how they won, which kind of seems to be the one and only thing their playstyle hinges on, and it's momentum. I mean, notice how fast the 2 first rounds were compared to how slow this one was. Without a momentum, they seem to be struggling to know what they want to do. I mean, rotating and trying to go for plan B, because that's, I mean, the nature of a rotate, when there's only 20 seconds left on the clock, was ill-fated. I mean, you knew it for sure, but it just goes to show that the players seem to have tunnel vision. They want their plan A to work, and if it doesn't, They don't know what to do.
Well, here's the thing. Second round, 2 players. It was already a 5v. You know, 2 players were down. First round, that was an interesting one, just because there was a lot of aggression going on for Valkyrie. Valkyrie did not seem to be taking the round as serious, at least the first 2 rounds as serious as the third one, and I feel like for that reason, Mystic got this false sense of hope, got this false sense of aggression that they could go in and they could make all of these kills happen, but in reality, when Valkyrie actually gets serious, when they get in the game, then it kind of turns out to be a little bit of a different setting, to say the least, right? I mean, you have Mystic that tried to get a little bit aggressive, completely shut down when Valkyrie had all players up on the board, and then you had Valkyrie in the first 2 rounds getting entirely shut down because they only had, what, maybe 3 players for most of these rounds, but, you know, it's such as life, things do happen, so I guess maybe we'll see a different setting for these next few rounds, where Valkyrie kind of takes it just a little bit more serious and isn't so aggressive.
Do note that every single player of Valkyrie has the Nitro Cell as their secondary gadget. 2 of them already expended and no kills yielded in return. But the idea is they are intent on trying to get a kill without like risking a face-to-face gunfight or line of sight, that kind of stuff. Pulse right here. Get a triple? Wait.
Maybe.
Wait a minute. And if Pulse fails, Burn Turkey can just finish somebody off, like down but net out or something like that, right? And I don't think Mystic are aware of their... Look, it's Nitro Fest galore on the defensive
Mystic
side.
definitely is aware. Mystic definitely is aware because you have that buck that bucked below right into mining, where the Pulse was sitting. So you have to understand. Mystic does know that they're going to be a Pulse there, or at least a Nitro player there, but doesn't necessarily know where that Pulse is going to be, and there you have it, that's that buck going down in return. So at least one Nitro Cell has had a return going on for the defense, and it's now 5v4, so you've got 2 players sitting below still. I believe nobody actually has a C4 at the moment, so you can't really do, you can't really do too much in terms of explosive damage, but what you can do is still apply pressure from below. You could have people sit in pillar, you can have people sit below those vertical holes that the attack is making, so there really is a lot to do with this. However, there is going to have to be a lot of pressure from the defense coming in the next few moments here if they really want to shut down that attack. And there you have it. That's that SMG-11 coming into play to shut down yet another player of Mystic.
3v4, sorry, situation. 20-some seconds left on the clock. The attack, once again, is like losing its momentum. And looking at the utility that's left, Weston with 2 frag grenades could do something interesting. Do note also that Jaeger and Motzi were absent. Diffuser is being planted. No defender at the top floor either. But it looks like somebody was trying to challenge that. They go down. So does not Turkey, but Weston actually. Diffuser is going to get... Oh, that is a hero save right there. 2v2 situation, but it looks like Korn's gonna do just the same thing, and Natural also goes down. Oh, the teabags, come on, man, don't be like that. So Valkyrie is going to take their second round. Mystic, I mean, both teams give it their all. Just look how Mystic, went for the plant, like all or nothing situation. They made it work, but then again, Valkyrie also did make the comeback work.
I definitely think that there was a lot of timing going on there for Valkyrie that really played into their hands, right? You had a lot of players kind of doing a death from above approach, and once the players from above were shut down, it allowed Valkyrie to really take advantage of the height that they had, we'll say, on the Mystic. So, you know, of course there's that, but at the same time, I feel like Mystic, they really could have done more. They really could have done more to prevent Valkyrie from shutting them down, and it just seems like to be a lot of chaos going on. Of course, you know, props to Valkyrie for controlling the chaos and really setting the pace of that diffuse, but at the same time, really, there was a lot that Mystic had in their control that they just lost. They could have won their ones. They could have had a lot of intel going on in their favor, right? They could have had flank drones. They could have had at least something set up to prevent that flank from Valkyrie. But there really wasn't much there because there wasn't as many players. There wasn't as much utility going on. It was a very stretched thin approach. And of course, Mystic didn't necessarily know where the players of Valkyrie were. So they couldn't really make the assumptions based on what they didn't have.
True. Misinformation, lack of information, fog of war is a major part of the game, any shooter for that matter. And this is where, if I was to go on a tangent, I would talk about intel through drones or cameras for the defense. Do note that we're not exactly playing the intel game too hard on the defense. We're going to have a Motzi and an Echo here or there, but Motzi is used as a intel denial operator more than anything else, and Echo is used as a plant denial operator. So yeah, the intel game is more of a byproduct of both these operators. Nevertheless, Merrimental still being as aggressive as ever. This is bound to throw Mystic Academy off guard and throw them off by some amount of distraction. But they don't seem to be taking the bait too much, right? Mystic isn't losing their stride just because they spawn peek attempt failed and, you know, whizzed past their heads whilst they were in spawn.
Right. I mean, of course, this time around Valkyrie does have a lot more going for them in terms of health, but not necessarily anymore. Yeah. Caster's Curse, right? Yeah, so you got Mozzie going down, unfortunately. It was a little bit a aggressive play from the Mozzie, you know, you have to know when to back up, and of course Mystic, they're gonna take advantage of it. They're not necessarily stupid players, they know how to do a pinch, they know how to do a roam clear, and you can't expect there to be a disconnect with your roamers if you're going up against a team that is going to fully form trying this pinch. So, of course, the roamers will get eliminated for that reason.
You do expect roamers to get eliminated nonetheless. The idea is, can they get enough kills or play for time for long enough before they do die? And right here, I would say roughly half and half, right? They didn't get too many kills. They played for some amount of time. Not major, but not insignificant either. But naturally, getting that kill on Wi-Fi is really going to put a strain on the defense because right now, nobody is on bomb side. Corn gets a kill. Likely to get refrag. Not even. There it is. And Shrady, though close by, is not on bomb side either. There's only so much that you can do with the yokai drones. It's going to daze once, maybe twice if you're lucky, but then it's going to get shut down. So he's going to have to rotate and get back on site. The hatch is going to be dangerous, as of course there's still somebody on the roof, and they seem to know that invading the... there's a drone. There's a drone by Cigar, that's why. He's going to deny that. But like I mentioned, it's going to get shut down, and now with 30 seconds to go, it is going to be up to the gun skill alone. Gets the first, but gets refragged right after that. Unfortunate, but then again, did you truly expect them to pull off the clutch? I personally didn't.
Well, if it's anybody, it's gonna be Shrady.
True.
I mean, like, I've known Shrady and I've known Burnt Turkey probably the longest, and I know Shrady to be pretty high skill, even though, you know, trials and tribulations thing this player has gone through. Same with Burnt Turkey, of course, but I've known them to be very good players, right? Very nice gun skill for them. So if it is going to be anyone, of course it is going to be those two players, and we've seen those two players put in those situations. Unfortunately, they don't win them. But do you expect it to be won when there is such an overwhelming player advantage for the attack?
Answer is no, right?
Exactly. Yeah, right. The answer is no. I mean, you got one kill there, we saw. But, of course, you know, when you have that many angles coming at you all at once, it can be hard to have your head on a swivel, so, you know, I mean, there's really only... Dude. Kitchen. Kitchen's gonna be our next site. I know we've seen this played, but I'm not taking notes right now. I mean, I'm just practicing at this point, but, I'm not taking notes. Are you taking...
Yes, we went kitchen once. Valkyrie won their first point there, and remember how the Mystic had control of top floor. They played vertical for too long, and then they rotated and like even started to take control of bakery and worked on the stairs when only 20 seconds left. And therefore, that rush did not kind of work out. Mystic lost their momentum a bit too early. The roaming game was a bit hassle. And that Lion scan can actually be more interesting than you would think, because it tells you how many roamers will be offside. They don't care about running around because, I mean, you still aren't going to shoot at them because they're too far out. However, Mystic knows that they are going to be in more of a situation to push it on site. Not quite a rush, but aggressive entries nonetheless. Natural, taking some amount of damage. This is going to be from coat check. You just got to keep that player, pun, in check. And you can just walk right up the hypothetical breach. But it's going to be a rotation because there was a mute, there's a Kaid, and they don't want to stay bogged down there. However, if you, like, with roughly 40 seconds played, if you only now start to think about flushing out the roamers, if Burn Turkey was to play well, this could spell disaster for Mystic Academy.
Right, see, this is what I don't really understand for Mystic Academy. They should have drowned out the players. They should have known that there was a mute. They should have Kaid. Not only that, but they could have done so much more with that bakery access, right? And if they decided to go bakery, why? It just seems like a half-baked play. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like wasted about a minute of play on something that could have been entirely avoided if you had droned it out in the prep phase. Now I know, you want to save drones, this and that, da-da-da-da, but come on. There's just a lot more prep work, and I know these players are better than that, so why couldn't we have seen that prep work in action? I'm not necessarily understanding. But, of course, it's still going to be a play change, and we're still going to be seeing some vertical play going on, absolutely huge, and, of course, drone clear will start coming into full swing. We got smoke going down, unfortunately, probably one of the most important players to have, and a little bit of a refrag going on in Nitro Cell for the ace. So, very equal players in importance going down here. Attack and the defense with just about a minute remaining.
You still got, like, interesting fraggers. Nebsy would be considered entry frag considering that lineup right here at Kaiko. Like, the good guns are still up. Weston takes a lot of damage, but, I mean, it's Finka, right? It's the attacker's dock. So 2v3, 2v4 situation, actually, wow, with 3 nades left. I cannot count. I cannot read the overhead bar. But yeah, so you got 3 nades left and 30 seconds on the clock. The clock can look critical in just a few moments. But, yeah, there's Neko. Echo's gonna have to play the gun, though, since, map. And this is why it's gonna be really hard for the defense to deny anything meaningful, I say, as... that almost was a double kill. Korn, last one alive, is gonna have to deny a plant. No natural cell. No nothing. Red pings to help out. Free fires are gonna erupt. However, the defenders are now well entrenched behind the attackers. No, with the defense playstyle, rather. Entrenched. Nebsy touched the electrified wall. Oh, no! So Karn is going to be in a 1v1 situation, but likely does not know it. Still, red ping is coming out. You know where they are. However, Spider still stays hidden and is going to bide for time. After all, diffuser's planted, and with the pistol, no less, just to rub salt in the wound, really, at this point. Oh, there you have it.
Oh, man, I was at the edge of my seat watching that. I was like in awe. Happen. God. Jesus. Okay, well, it's 4-2 by the round split, so of course you have Mystic Academy in the driver's seat pretty firmly by the time they take on their favored defense, which of course is what you expected, right? This is Mystic Academy's pick for map, so you would expect them to know how to attack pretty well, but I feel like there was still a lot of bumps in the road for them, and especially with this round, a lot of that was highlighted. Almost a clutch for Valkyrie. There were a lot of unforeseen mistakes from Mystic Academy, a lot of information, a lot of droning failures that really been avoided. But the issue with Valkyrie, especially on their defenses, is the fact that they get way too aggressive as time lags on, It's almost like you understand that time is continuing to move forward, and if you allow Mystic to get into the objective and get aggressive, that, at least their thought process, that you're gonna allow yourself to get a little bit too complacent, and for that reason they try to keep Mystic on their toes, maybe? That could be their thought. I don't necessarily know, but what I do know is that Valkyrie, for most of these rounds, has been getting way too aggressive and peeking things that they didn't need to, going for angles that they didn't do, opportunities that did not need to be taken, and for that reason they got shut down entirely. There was no reason for a lot of these plays, especially from the early rounds from it. It just kind of seemed like they were all willy-nilly trying to go what they could, kills that they could, and it allowed Mystic to take the advantage here. And mind you, if Mystic wins these two matches, Valkyrie and Mystic are going to be tied for 6th place. So you really want to shut down Mystic and force them to be at the bottom of the leaderboard pretty solidly.
Very true. Very true, and it looks like Valkyrie do not want to let Mystic take the lead here, as Weston's going to get first pick. Refract happens pretty quickly after that, though, so the numerical equilibrium is going to stay there for just a few more moments. Weston from underneath playing Pulse. This can be dangerous, of course. Nitrocell with full knowledge of where to toss it. I mean, that's a match made in heavens, really. Natural with the DMR on top of that, it's interesting. I don't know if like people don't want to play the P10 Roni since it's been nerfed with only 15 bullets in the mag. I mean, it's still an absolute powerhouse if you're not whiffing your shots. But then again, I suppose looking at the current positioning, it's highly situational because that DMR, the MK14, has such a great range, and it just so happens that Natural, is holding a long-range angle. So, for right now, however, like the guys at the top floor aren't being pushed because Turkey right here is looking into Fireplace Hall, trying to go through Chimney to plant into A. Once again, circumventing the roamers or the like proxy anchor defense and find the path of least resistance. However, if you're too slow, that resistance is going to appear pretty quickly because the defense will rotate back there. Not Natural though. Natural is still holding that angle.
There we go. Okay. My Wi-Fi is just completely.
Okay, well, in that case, let me just tell you the timing was perfect because you came back just as I was handing it to you.
Well. Alright, so about 45 seconds left on the clock, it appears, in a 4v3 scenario. Mystic unfortunately does not have the advantage here, but they do now. Pulse is going to pick up 1 kill, but unfortunately Spider goes down. So it's still 3v2, but oh my word, it ends up being a 2v2 in all technicality, but no! It's a 2v2 in all realness. We got Spider unfortunately going down. That kill is going to be picked up, but from behind. Oh no. Could this be a huge clutch for the defense? Nebsy, no, it won't be. He's gonna get shut down, and Weston is the remaining player up on the board with the very, very low health, and with the UNP, it does not afford very many missed shots for that Pulse play. But the Nitro Cell being thrown out, trying to make some noise for the Pulse, and unfortunately, in all, we have the L85 picking up the kill with a very nice pixel angle. That's pretty nice one, I'm not gonna lie, from behind the bomb chassis. But of course, it'll be Valkyrie to pick up that round, and with the diffuser down, there wasn't a lot of avenues Mystic Academy could go for, so they chose to fall and crack under pressure.
It happens. When you don't know how to react, you're done for, and that's the end of it, basically.
Right.
But that off angle that Valkyrie was holding at the end, amazing. Just like you mentioned, there's too many angles to watch. And when you're like looking through the pixel angle after like looking through 2 breaches and 2 walls back to back, there's no way somebody peeking aggressively, rapidly, because Tamara is not on their side. There's no way they're gonna notice you. So it was a foregone conclusion at this point. Very well done. I do love these rounds, to be honest, where there's so much back and forth that one team gets the lead, and then like Mystic Academy gets a couple of kills. They're not in the lead. Tamara's running down, but Valkyrie gets the fuser planted. But then Mystic Academy are getting a few kills. But then the last guy, you know, never ending. I love to see that.
It's chaos, right? Like we've been speaking, it's
Yes.
a lot of fog of war, you know? So, I think one way to shut down the fog of war and to prevent all of this from happening is to have leveled attacks, where the execute is extremely balanced, and in an ideal world, correct, you would have a very well-planned, well-thought-out attack that results in a simple execute on the bomb site and gets you all of the kills and da-da-da-da-da. Of course, we know that's not going to happen, so there is going to be a level of chaos going on that you might expect from the attack, from the defense, but I don't know if there should be this much chaos going on in a sense. I feel as though, yes, while the execute is happening, potentially, but there's just a lot of unneeded errors, unforced errors going on for the attack, for the defense, that provide a lot of interesting commentary, of course, but at the same time, you know, chaos, to say the least.
Let's put it this way. If we don't even know what we're doing, they won't know what we're doing, and then
You
they
know,
won't be able to counteract us.
The amount of times that I've heard that, insane. Absolutely insane.
I mean, it's a meme, and the players are not like a bunch of golds running around not talking to each other. But when things happen so fast, like if a roamer like basically cuts off one of the flank angles you wanted to establish, and then you have to react to that, and like every individual coordinated and rational decision does not get communicated with the rest of your teams because it happens so fast, and it seems chaotic, but any individual action could either be taken in context and rationalized, or they're playing under pressure and didn't think straight. But those players aren't the kind of guys to do just that. After all, like I mentioned, this isn't ranked gold, right? Right?
Right? Right?
I mean, for real. Natural playing the same angle as before. Once again with the MK14, so the long angles with the long-range gun. This is absolutely talking about rational. This is rational. Right now, the attack Valkyrie, they are going to be around Cigar and Piano with 50-some seconds left on the clock. You got your hard breach left. You still have the hard breach after that failed nitro attempt. But the hard breach is going to be hard because of the mute jammers. However, the mute jammers being a sphere, you could probably breach like part of the wall and then attempt to do something from there, like tossing a grenade to destroy the jammer, then open up the rest, or just go for the line of sight openings. Regardless, that was a nice reading into the attacker's push. 2 kills in rapid succession, maybe even the triple, or is Mute going to get the refrag? At that range, the shotgun will be deadly. It does go off, gets the kill, gets refragged. 1v1 situation. Natural, not the greatest gun in a close quarter engagement. 15 seconds to go. Mary might want to stick the plant, might want to play the kill. Either choice, he's going to be stuck with it because the timer is going to run down. I believe default cam is still up. I believe I saw some blue hue near to the ceiling. Diffusers be planted. Natural, not fast enough. And Mary is up with the gun in the hand and gets the kill. Valkyrie taking round 8.
What a flip. Look at that right there, baby. Oh my god, the LMG. He says horrible. He says horrible. But oh my god, that is absolutely insane. It's 4-4 score line now, and in a hair of a loss for Valkyrie, both for Valkyrie and for Mystic Academy. It ends up being Zoe to come out on top, but you really have to look at the guns going into play there. You have an LMG versus a DMR, so
yeah.
You know, what is the expected win going on there? Of course, we know that Zoe, regardless, didn't have low health, if I'm correct. And even if Zoe didn't have low health, a one shot from the DMR headshot is enough to get the kill on Zoe. So, you know, you could have realistically gotten that kill if you did have the better reaction time, but quite clearly Zoe had the better reaction time right there, which is why I'm guessing we saw Mary, or Mental, I believe?
Mental, yeah.
Yeah, Mental. Say horrible. Yeah, well, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But of course, scoreline, absolutely insane plays. But one thing I really did want to highlight is just the fact that why did Valkyrie rely so much off of the aggressive execute, off of the momentum, such as Mystic did. I just don't understand why these plays are coming to these explosive endings if there isn't really much to show for it originally, you know? If there wasn't much in the beginning, why are they trying to go from nothing to everything, you know? There isn't really a balance there. It's just, you know, all or nothing right at the end. And that's something that gives me a lot of anxiety. That's something I don't necessarily like. But I just don't see why it isn't occurring. If you have a better explanation, go ahead.
It's not quite the 20 seconds meta, but it's still a playstyle that doesn't leave any kind of room or wiggle room for a plan B should your first attempt fail. And, you know, the 20 seconds meta is okay with that trade-off because you are setting yourself up to not need a second attempt in the first place. However, like you mentioned, it's like not exactly aggressive enough to then have a lot of time to prepare yourself. It's a bit more spread out, like time-wise. So then you're pushing in the later stages and chaos ensues. Haven't we mentioned chaos yet? I feel like we have, he says sarcastically. Two players on the defense are going to be losing a bit of health. You know, first contact has been established, but nobody actually dies. We are, however, going to have the defense now knowing full well what to expect. And I do want to note, we got a pulse with a natural cell. And everybody who's sitting in bar right now is a potential victim to pulse. I say as pulse goes down. Okay, never mind.
Caster's curse. Caster's curse. It's alright though.
It's so fun. Yeah. They couldn't even know.
I know. It's literally insane. Okay,
Ooh.
well anyways. Oh
Speaking
my
of insane.
God, crazy. Absolutely insane. We got Holograph coming in clutch. 460 card line going and doing its work, but 3v4, and we got a few kills to show on the board for Valkyrie. Unfortunately, Weston and the Malusi Kai going down. I'm gonna call this player Kai from now on. And of course, Valkyrie has control of Cocktail. That's absolutely huge. We got another player going off of the board. It's gonna be natural this time around. Aruni, not necessarily doing the damage that they hope to do with that DMR, but you still have two players up on the board. It's going to be Spider and Nebzy. Spider, unfortunately, was not able to get to anything before they died, but Nebzy did at least grab one. Very low health, though, and does get shut down by the L85. Going in blindly, trying to make a kill happen. Not necessarily sure what was going on there for Nebzy. Probably a conceded attempt. Yeah, very
Diffuser was being planted.
Attempt.
That's
yes,
that,
we
that,
know
that's why
we
it was
know
forced.
Diffuser was being planted, but why go in there if you're not going to pre-fire, or if you are, you know what I mean? Like, if we're not going there if you aren't going to pre-fire, or if you're just kind of, you know, walking in blindly. I didn't really understand the play, I guess.
You're right. I mean, you're in a situation where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you're don't, because I mean, Diffuser is going to be planted, and you don't want to have the time pressure on top of having the 1v3 in a situation pressure. So you're right, peeking was needed, but then again, how you peek is a whole entire beast together. You don't know where they are, like you mentioned, like peeking in blind, but they know where you're gonna go, right? A doorway that's like roughly, I'm gonna say like 6 square feet of area that they have their guns trained on, and you have to scan the entire room. Pre-fire the heck out of everything. That's your only way to survive. And unfortunately, that pre-fire just didn't happen, thus predictable results ensued. During the replays, a tactical timeout has been asked for, so don't ask yourselves why we're staying on that countdown scene a bit longer. But then again, I mean, the end of the map is is approaching like rapidly, and your tactical timeout, you have it once per map, so if you're not using it here, it's going to be lost. Might as well take a breathing room to ask yourselves, what is going wrong? Nothing's going too wrong. I mean, the scores are pretty tight after all, but things could still be better for either teams after all.
What I find is extremely interesting is the fact that at the beginning of this match, I had said, what is truly going to come into play? The fact that Valkyrie has the advantageous side, or the fact that this is Mystic's map pick? Neither of those so far have really come into play, because we look at the scoreline, 4-5, Valkyrie is firmly, not necessarily firmly, but they do have a round, of course, on Mystic, and yet they're getting all their rounds in their attacking half. So they didn't get their rounds on their defense half, which is what I predicted that they would do, but rather they got their rounds on the unexpected attacking half. So I guess, in all honesty, it seems to be that Mystic is not as prepared defensively as they hope to be, and maybe Valkyrie is really taking advantage of that, or potentially that Valkyrie was just not as prepared for their defense rounds, and Mystic took advantage of that. we don't know, right? We don't know exactly what was going on in the minds of Valkyrie and the minds of Mystic, but one thing we for sure do know is that Valkyrie does have that round on Mystic on their map pick, and if Valkyrie were to win out these next few rounds, we'd be going on to their map pick, and even though they will be on attack for that one, it still is going to be a tough fight for Mystic, and they're going to have to force it to a third map, which is going to be the coastline.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have not heard this phenomenon brought up in ages. So do tell me if it's still something that nobody mentioned in eons, or if things have changed since. Because there was this, I'm gonna say, like, oddity where the team that picks the map kind of more often than not ends up losing it because their opponent then gets to pick sides. I've heard that like last in 2019, I want to say, but then again, metas change, but the core principles of the game, such as map bans, shouldn't, right?
Right. This has just been a very, very off map, and I really just want to understand what is going on in the minds of these players. What are they doing wrong? What do they think they're doing wrong? I mean, we can see it plain as day, the things that are occurring that is wrong, but on a whole basis, it's just kind of weird to try to understand these trends. Because round to round, we can see obviously what is occurring right here, which is absolute domination from Valkyrie, but as a full trend, we don't necessarily know what is going on. But we got 2 players remaining up on the board for Mystic Academy. It's Smoke and Tachika. Definitely 2 players you actually want to see up by the end of this round, because of course they can do some area denial. Weston is going to be their remaining player. Does have the SMG-11, but still has no smoke canisters remaining, so is going to have to gun his way through these engagements. 1 player at coat check, and that's going to be the end of Weston, unfortunately. Zofia LMG proving to be very, very deadly, especially at long ranges, which Weston, with that SMG-11, does not have. So,
Mental owns you all, apparently.
Yes. So 4-6 for Valkyrie, we're gonna be ushering into match point. Release. I think that round was a little bit of a fluke from Mystic. I'm not gonna lie to you, Hans. That was very aggressive round from Valkyrie, and I feel as though they really just caught Mystic off guard. They attacked from multiple different places, and it was extremely aggressive, but at the same time very balanced, right? You had multiple players coming from multiple areas. You had players coming from Bakery. You had players trying to work their way from Razor. It just was a lot of overwhelming force and a lot of blunt force coming towards the objective, and overall, you know, it just was a little bit too much for Mystic to take care of and to keep track of, most importantly. So, of course, the attackers were able to get into the objective, and from there on out, it was a very
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, momentum is a force to be reckoned with, really. Valkyrie had not even as far as like the round after round like morale of the players goes, but just within a single round. To put it like, to break it down in layman's terms, if you get a kill on a defender and force through the angle he was holding before somebody else can come back and plug the hole, well, you have an open entry to the bomb site. It's not as simple as that. There's more nuance to the actual game, but you get the core principle, right? Valkyrie were way too fast, but then if you were to talk about morale and momentum in between rounds or in the map overhaul, well, in Valkyrie, they are off of a really hot round. They have an amazing, momentum going right now, and they want to put an end without risking overtime. They have a bit of buffer wiggle room to avoid that. They can still afford to lose the round without being forced into OT, but then again, they will want to deny that if at all possible. The composition right here is very similar to what we've seen before, so I would expect like similar results to before. However, the castle of Spider is going to be slightly new-ish. Environmental is going to destroy that. I want to say there was like going to be Weston or somebody. Yeah, right there in Cigar. So now, due to the Castle Barricade being broken, he's going to be pinned down. Rotations are going to be extremely dangerous. So already, though no kills are happening, Mystic Academy are, for some players, very precarious. However, that does not matter. Nebsy is going to click heads, but Weston does not. 4v4 situation being held. The attackers making some amount of leeway, but the defense there to respond in kind, and Valkyrie will absolutely have to fight for any inch of ground they want to take.
Right. I mean, we've known this, of course, with it being top floor. Any time an attacker hits that top floor, you're gonna have to fight for every single bit of playing ground that you can get, especially with that shield being up in pixel still, and only 1 minute remaining on the clock. Time is ticking. The attackers, they're gonna have to make something happen, and very quick, right? They have a lot of viewpoints in on the objective. It just really is a matter of how can you get to the objective, how many kills can you get, and can you make that execute occur? So, of course, it's going to be up to Valkyrie to position themselves in that advantageous route in order to make that happen just as such. So you got some players that are actually going to be repelling on the cocktail windows, I believe, so that could really stir things up a little bit. Yep, you got Shrady trying to open up the cocktail window, seemingly to open up the line of sight for that Finka to look on into the objective and to get a little bit more of a look, we'll say, into cocktail.
It's actually brilliant because Korn was not the one to shoot on the barricade. Korn did not make any amount of noise, and now advantage of surprise is kept. Gets one, looking for a second, nearly missing the shots. Natural so low on health with the DMR, not a close range weapon, but the cross angle saving their life does not matter. Burn Turkey with the hot hand, 1v1 situation, match points, but the timer ran down. Mystic Academy winning the round by the skin of their teeth.
Wow. Wow. What? What? That was insane! There were so many layers to that. Hans, you have to understand, there were so many layers to that. MVP of that round, Jaeger. It's Kai. 100%.
Absolutely.
100% MVP of that round, right? Not only did he save his teammate, he ran, and he did it good. He ran and he ran. That man running for the hills the second that he got the kill on the Finka. I mean, absolutely insane. Burnt Turkey couldn't do anything about it. I mean, of course, he had to go for the kill, right? Because if you try to go for the plant, it's just going to be Jaeger running in your face, and you're still going to end up losing the round. So, you got to go for the kill, but Jaeger ended up running anyways. Thank God he was a 1 speed, or 1 armor, should I say. And if he wasn't, he would have been absolutely screwed. I mean, just the circumstances of that round, incredible for Mystic. They're gonna find their way to fight, to claw their way up for this match point. They're trying their best. They're going to be going radiant this time around. That's not necessarily a very great place to be having a match point situation, but they're gonna be trying for this objective. Otherwise, we will be going on to Clubhouse. Valkyrie's pick with a match in their favor.
I gotta say, whoever's gonna end up winning the map is going to absolutely deserve the points. Throwback 2 rounds ago on Kitchen. I mean, remember how aggressively Valkyrie just funneled in? And now, do you look how Mystic keep on clawing their back and refusing to give up? No matter who takes the final point, they are going to earn it, and not just by a little bit. I like what Weston is doing, but it's kind of risky. Playing the passive roamer, not making any sound, hinging their bets that the drones are not going to take the time to, like, drone every nook and cranny of the kitchen. And now, if the attackers were to ignore you, well, then you can crawl up behind them and shoot a couple of them behind in the back of their heads, which would be good for the defense. However, you are leaving your teammates in a 4v5 situation, as we're not doing anything in the meantime. Plus, if they drone you out, you're literally prone, and you're not going to know it coming. You're not going to see it coming. First kill is going to be on Kaiko. Goes for Valkyrie. Once again, Pulse not doing too much. Drone sees them. And now a few attackers are going to have to turn around, thus put a pause on the attack. Eating up drones also can be really good. Korn is going to be coming in. But that I'm sorry, this is not gonna work out. They know you're there now. There's no way you stay stealthy. And with the MP45, there's no way you pull up a 1v4 like that. I'm sorry, Weston is just wait. There you go. This was like a sheep waiting for the lion to come.
Right. There is nothing you can do. You're caught in a corner. You have the UMP. Absolutely nothing. You're right. So that's just a kill. That's just a very easy kill for Valkyrie to take advantage of. And of course, they're not going to pass up on that opportunity in any way, shape, or form. Now it's going to be a 3v5. You got Natural, Spider, and Nebsy remaining. You don't have Weston, which is your main fragger of player combination.
Oh no.
You did have Nebsy, unfortunately not anymore, but still a player is going to be taken down. That's Wi-Fi for Valkyrie's side. You got Natural, not anymore though. DMR player is going down. Spider is the remaining player left up on the board. In a 1v4 situation, it seems all but impossible to win at this point. Corn is going to be losing a lot of health to that C4, but in the end, does get the kill with the RX. No,
Yeah, that was the RX. Yeah.
That's the RX. Yeah, that's the RX. I'm thinking. My brain is just so large right now. So large.
So it's kind of interesting because you mentioned you've been playing a lot like as a player, on your team, and so like you should know most of that stuff, but then you're still like wondering what I'm just messing with you, right?
You know what? And I do play on a lot, so I know that it's the ARX 36. But my brain just wanted to say AK-74. Don't ask me why. I wanted to say Nomad's gun. I really did. It's tragic. Okay. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to go. Okay.
Pure
Point
tragedy.
being, Valkyrie won. They did win, and it was not their map pick, but they did win by only 1 point. Whereas if Mystic had won that round, then it would have been a very different outcome. We would have seen overtime scenario, which you know, as casters is something that we would have loved to see, but I still think that this is a very fitting end for Valkyrie to find themselves in. They did their due diligence with that round. It was a very, very well-shaped round for them.
It was.
So overall, you know, you gotta give it to them. They fought their way through. Their attacking rounds were a lot stronger than their defending rounds, surprisingly. I feel as though the attacking prowess of Mystic was a little bit at times more than Valkyrie could handle, and also for that reason, Valkyrie, they played a little bit too aggressive on their attacking rounds, or sorry, their defending rounds, and they lost a lot of players early round. They really
Those
did.
spawn peek attempts in the very early rounds being the perfect example of that.
Right. I mean, not even spawn peeking, but just kind of the roaming setup going on there. They just kind of seemed not as confident as they should be, and they seemed a little bit lost at points during the roaming phase. And on Cafe, roaming is a pretty big crux to all things defense because there's such a big surface area. There's so many areas to hide, and there's so much of the map that you have to go through. Usually, you would like to see some roamers going on, and there just wasn't a lot going on for Valkyrie in their defense rounds, but of course they, as we saw, shaped up their attacking rounds very, very well, which is something you love to see. They played pretty well with each other, even though there were some points in time where it was like, wow, like they just clutched that. I still feel as though they played together, and they played a lot better than Mystic did on their attacking rounds, so there was a lot of improvement going on there, and of course it led to that 7-6 score line. Yeah, 7-6. I'm just getting used to these leagues. 7-5.
If it was 7-6, we would have had overtime. And
see, I'm just getting used to this. I'm just getting back
you have never stopped playing the game, though.
I know. I've been playing ranked. I haven't been playing
right.
league.
No, but you weren't you part of your college team?
I was.
And aren't you like doing comp with the college team?
I haven't been playing league. That's what it is. I have not been playing League in a while. I know it's 7-5, but my brain
it's
just
alright.
wants to say
It's alright. I'm just messing with you.
Point being, Valkyrie did win that, and now we head on to Clubhouse.
Yes.
Which we'll be seeing as Valkyrie's map pick. They're going to be on attack first, of course. with Mystic choosing their defense. So I guess if we were to assume that this map goes the way that Cafe went, it could be a really interesting map to see, because Valkyrie, they're going to be on their attacking rounds, but they might be able to pick up some of these rounds in the case that, Mystic begins to drop the ball on their defense. However, if Mystic can pick it up with their attacking rounds, we could see Valkyrie in a very curious scenario, potentially a map 3 on Coastline, out of all things. So, I guess only time will tell on that one, but are we going to break, or are we going to go straight in?
I was actually going to ask you that, because I have gone straight in once before, and the caster after the match told me, yeah, I kind of wanted that break. So do you want a 5 minutes break? I mean, I got enough water left in the bottle to last for another round, but if you want to, you can take a break.
On the spot here.
Let's take one. Let's take a break.
You're putting me on. Okay, yeah.
Let's take a break. So I'm just going to finagle with the mouse to have like a 5 minutes countdown. And yes, so guys, we will be right back after the short break. I would usually say don't go anywhere, but seeing as those matches are amazing, go somewhere to grab a bowl of popcorn and then come back. You got 5 minutes. We will be right back. we are back. With the wrong transition though. This was not supposed to look like that. Oh, all right. I'll fix the production part later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
People wanted to see us back on the air. So we're gonna have map 2 starting soon. I mean, this is a VOD, right? This is a VOD, so players, are they ready? I guess they are. Clubhouse. Is there anything you want to talk about Clubhouse, or should we just jump right into it?
Let's just jump right into it, because I don't want to talk about hypotheticals until I see player bans, really, because I want to see where these teams are, what these teams are hoping to achieve with these player bans, and how it can give me a little bit more of an insight into what they might do, especially with attacking.
So here is something that might be worth noting. We are going to have a few technical glitches here. Apologies in advance. The observer is going to suffer a few 3D like model glitches in the game. I believe I showed them to you really quickly at the beginning of the match. So it's distracting as is. But then the guy tries to fix that, and L-tapping a few times is going to make the feed freeze. He actually calls me, should we rehouse, that kind of stuff. So yeah, like there's only in the first few rounds, there's a few things that are going to go wrong. Apologies in advance. Then again, I blame Ubisoft.
I do blame Ubisoft as well. I blame Ubisoft for everything.
It's
Ubisoft for it all. It's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Okay. So, I want to see this last player ban. Hibana, Thatcher, Valkyrie, they're pretty standard, right? Hibana, in order for the attack to be thwarted with their hatch play. But I want to see... Okay, Mira. Mira's going to be the last player. So, we still have Kaid up on the board, meaning the hatches are going to be firmly protected unless we see a Mav being put into play. Mav, of course, is still up on the board, so... There's going to be a huge reliance on him as a player, so you're going to want to put somebody up on Mav that is going to stay alive, that is going to be a consistent hard breach operator. Of course, yeah, Maverick's going to be up on the board. Alongside Ace, which is unsurprising, right? You want to have as much hard breach capabilities as possible. You got Zoe, Sledge, and Yana. Zoe and Sledge are, of course... your two soft breach operators that you want to have up on the board. Sledge because he has so much utility. Zoe because she has that long range utility, that long range breach that is going to be really important for the Mav trick, especially going upstairs. Of course, we're not going to be seeing upstairs, but eventually we will see that being put into play. Yana, though, that's kind of your wild card operator, right? That's your fifth operator that you can really do anything with. You could have brought a Jackal, you could have brought an Ashe, you could have brought multiple different types of operators, but you using Yana. That's really interesting to me. Yana does have a lot of utility though, right? You got the Gemini clones, you have the grenades, definitely have a very good gun in the hands of Horn, so definitely a good play, right, for the Yana, but I really want to see how she's going to be utilized, where that's going to be a telltale for how the push is going to go for Valkyrie and where it will go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, hard breachers are going to open up everywhere because you want to, I mean, literally open up as many doors as possible. But then where's the actual push going to be coming from? That is like another question entirely. Right now, I don't see too many roamers. Like, there's only 4 silhouettes on the basement floor, so somebody's 3D glitches, right? So somebody is bound to be roaming somewhere. Did I mention we were gonna see some 3D? When I say I blame Ubisoft, I mean that's not me doing this, right? Yeah, Kaiko is not on side. Kaiko is the only one that could be like a nasty surprise for the attackers. The issue there being that a lone roamer can only do so much, especially since you're not a Vigil, you're not a Pulse, you're not going to be actively helped in your roaming game by your kit. Yeah. So
okay.
Korn gets the first kill on Spider. This is distracting, I gotta say.
That's huge. No. This is actually huge because I've been speaking about how Yana's that wild card, right? And Brianna not only be
Attackers have
utilizing
located a bomb.
her utility, but to be getting a kill out of it. And on Kaid, out of all people, the player that is going to be most useful in preventing the hatch play is actually huge. So we really love to see it. We love to see that. So of course, a really big play for that, and a 5v4. Great start for Valkyrie to be heading into this round. A very nice frag grenade as well for the Justin, getting a lot of damage taken. Nebsy, the same exact thing. So a lot of pressure already coming for the players of Mystic Academy. And you like that, right? You like seeing that there is a lot of different points of access for Valkyrie, because that means that there's going to be a lot of things to hold down for Mystic Academy. There's not going to be one set area that you can just play for. So Mystic Academy really going to have to watch multiple points of entry, and Valkyrie could very well take it. Already 2v4 though, we see that the push is getting very hot and heavy. 2v2 though, as we see Smoke getting lots and lots of kills off on the board, aided by those smoke canisters, and of course Diffuser is going to be dropped as one player goes down. Smoke getting the kill for that one. Malusi heading in and getting a very, very nice place angle just as well. Shrady is the remaining player up on the board. Doesn't necessarily know where that Malusi is, and it is going to be taken advantage of by Kai. MP5 doing its work to finish off the round, and Defenders will take the first round, but barely for Church and Ursel.
Barely so. It was a 2v1 situation, 2 attackers up on the board, so they only had to find the last player. That did not happen, however, and it was so close, right? If you turned right instead of turning left by that doorway, history could have been entirely different. But Mystic is going to take the first round, and I'm not sure actually if the Observer ends up rehosting. I do mention this. I don't want to seem like I'm like stuck on the on the technical issues, but if we have a rehost, this is going to force a pause, and though we're not too far into the game, any pause can cool down any team that has the momentum, right? In that case, it would be Team Mystic Academy, but by a tiny slim margin.
Right. We definitely...
Oh. Looks like something
in any
just...
pause for momentum, it's going to be... Oh?
Yeah, no, that was you. That was you, because streaming on Twitch also got paused there for a second.
Okay.
But yeah, this is froze.
Good now.
Yeah, we are there. We're there. It's
5 seconds remaining.
Lots of technical difficulty going on, not just in game, but mostly.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Is oh my word. That is just crazy. I can't believe that is even a glitch.
I mean, this is the base game, right? I mean, Pro League are using the same build as we are, so something like that could even be possible on like their matches. I shudder to think what Ubisoft would think if, like, I mean, Intero was to mention that thing.
Yeah.
Plus,
but the thing is though is that there's a lot more production going on with Pro League. And
yeah,
a
they would be able to
technical-
rug sweep it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot.
Oh,
more.
how did they get up there?
What? Wait.
That's got to be a spectator glitch. There's no way.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Oh no, he was repelling actually. I have no idea what's going on.
Falling
I am.
upside down? I'm not sure.
No, he did take some damage there.
Wait a minute. What is going on?
I could not tell you.
I do not understand this.
Neither do I.
Whatsoever. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful sight to behold. This is truly a beautiful sight to behold. Well, LMG is going to be doing its damage. We got Wamai going down at cash side of things, so that's at least one player down for you. And you still have Kai, and you still have Frost up on the board, so of course you have some level of resistance for the attackers to have to push through in trying to gain control of Khan and trying to get into the objective via the other side of the map. Although you do have another squad of players on Jacuzzi's side trying to open their end, but a little bit of a kill going on there. A little engagement for the Zoe. Gonna provide a very nice padding. Triple kill, we'll say.
That's
wow,
huge.
Crazy, yeah, absolutely huge. Great plays all around going for the Zoe with the LMG. Very low health though, and you do have Wi-Fi down. Kaiko could very well take advantage of this situation. Not quite sure what Kaiko is doing at the current moment. Looks like Zoe is going to be in a very hefty fight with this Jaeger
Attackers
a little bit of a pre-fire going on, but in the end it ends up being Zoe out of all people to pick up that kill. Very nice place pre-fire and a good headshot. Of course, we know the LMG does its dirty work, but man, oh man, Jaeger really getting caught in the crossfire, especially when Zoe has such low health. I mean, it's a very easy engagement for that Jaeger to take, but all in all, you gotta give it to the Zoe. Very nice engagement being played out. It just feels though that Mystic did not have to play that close. They did not have to be peeking that many angles, and all kind of at once. It wasn't, and mind you, this was individual players peeking fights. It wasn't just, you know, multiple players peeking one thing at different angles. No, no, no. It was different players all at once peeking the same angle in relatively the same area. So of course they're going to line up for Zoe, who has the LMG, by the way, and it will provide for a very easy kill for the Zoe, who has very good gun skill. Of course, expected gun skill, right? Very mental, but of course, you know, that is besides the point.
Numbers speak for themselves. I mean, 5 kills, 1 assist, 0 deaths. It's self-explanatory, really.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that.
10 seconds left.
But
So much, yeah.
yes. CCTV cache is going
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse
It's
it.
not going to be Gym Bedroom this time around, which Miss Academy was hoping to win. They're going to have to wait another round at the very least to play that one out, or who knows? We don't necessarily know what's going to be going through their heads, but what we do know is that there's a Yana, there's a Mav, there's a Sledge, there's an Ace, and there's a Twitch instead of a Zoe. So it appears to be that there's a reliance on getting that wall open, not just from the Zoe, but from a Twitch drone as well. So could be seeing that come into play, not just for the intel, but for the clearing as well. So we'll love to see it, but we will have to
Attackers
see
have located
truly
a bomb.
how that Twitch drone can be used. That's kind of a wild card operator of this round.
Twitch drone could disable the evil eye cameras, but other than that, I mean, I doubt the drone is going to make its way up to the ADS devices, because somebody's likely to be like anchoring next to the device. So I don't know, right? It's a novel pick, but Twitch isn't played too often because Twitch is not that good, which then in turns begs the question, if Twitch is not the best pick, why would you bring it this time around? Highly, like, situationally specific, right? Mary has still to prove, I mean, why the Twitch, because we saw how good the LMG is last time around. 4v4 situation, let's not dwell on that too much, because stuff is happening. There is a mute. Oh, and Burnt Turkey getting a nasty pick on Nebsy. Nebsy was going to be like the last problematic anchor on site. That nade is going to be tossed a bit too quickly, because Burnt Turkey, well, is getting burned, so to speak, by Weston. However, Burnt with a refrag, a triple kill. Not quite an ace, but natural. Already in 1v4 situation. And rushing, that could have been a double kill. Instead, it won't even be a single. Unfortunate, but then again, so unfortunate. It was actually aiming for the evil eye. So it looks like Smoke just went into the crossfire, the cross angle, the crosshairs. English is hard, on his own volition.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you have players who are picking that maestro, you know, you obviously know that those players are going to be there from the calls of the defense. You would expect to know that those grenades are getting thrown from the defense. And, hey, he's throwing a grenade, this and that. But it was Smoke's own position to pick that, trying to get the kill. Maybe just trying to get a better KD at this point, because you know that the round isn't going to be saved. Who knows? But
Yeah, I mean, you're right. This is, it's not Valorant or CSGO where there's the economy at play. So morale or like momentum is not something in that situation that you can really like put a stop to for the enemy team. So playing for stats, I mean, bragging rights. Have you
playing for stats is like cosmetic. You know, at this point, like it's just an ego thing.
But have you ever heard of like the comp player's ego? I hear it's pretty huge.
You know what? Especially for this team, these players know each other. Of course, it is going to be a factor at play. However, I still think that there's so much more value in winning the round versus just.
Smoke wasn't gonna win it. Smoke wasn't gonna win it. So at this point, might as well.
Know that.
You okay? No, I will absolutely walk that back. If you don't actually try to win it, you never will. Even if your odds are 1 in 1,000.
You don't know if you don't try.
You miss all the shots you don't take. Yeah, exactly.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yes, I totally. No, but let's get into this round. Enough with the theoretical, food for thought type of talk. Let's just do it, okay? So
yeah, we could have an after party podcast talking about this if you want to, but not now.
After party podcast. You and I make a great podcast. Anyways,
let's do this. I mean, you really have that commentator voice. If you're not gonna make Pro League, make a podcast for sure.
We're gonna have some vertical blade.
That's sledge doing sledge things. Yeah, Mary's still on Twitch, by the way. Didn't exactly yield too many results back last time, but hey, can't really complain because the other guys were doing everything. It looks like the ones that are still deploying the deployable shield are Mystic Academy this slow at getting themselves set up, because if somebody's rushing at that very moment, you don't want to be caught with your pants down, or I mean with the shield in your hands. I do want to note that nobody is actually pushing into Dirt Tunnel. This is quite rare to not have this line of sight or cross angle be established. Of course, Dirt Tunnel is just the support angle, because truly rushing in from there is notoriously weak. But it's still surprising to not even see an attempt to be made. Top floor, of course, is like going like you'd expect. You can create line of sight, but the defense is just not going to peek that or respawn in kind. And as such, yeah, gunfights, Nebsy, Spider losing a bit of health, nothing major. You really are going to have to walk down the stairs, drop down the hatch, or now that Maverick is doing it, Burn Turkey that is, going through the tunnel, because at some point you need to have a face-to-face gunfight, and whoever starts winning those face checks is likely going to get the favor for their team to win the round.
Correct. No, you're totally right on that, right? This is first face check being won by Valkyrie, and the second one to follow. That's Twitch with the F2 trying to keep secret, and oh my word, all at once, chaos raining down on the objective. Last player sitting in vents, getting absolutely bombarded, and there you have it, Mary Mental picking up the final kill with the F2. So a very aggressive take, but all in all, I think it was pretty balanced, and here's why. So you have a lot of chaos going on in the objective, but why? Because Valkyrie was ready to make it happen. They were ready to hop onto the objective. They knew that they only had about 45 seconds left to go in the round, and they said, hey, we need to make this occur, or it's not going to happen at all. And so they went all from their different angles. They began to move in from dirt. They began to move in from secret. They had their plans on the hatch. You know what I mean? There was a lot of different routes that the attackers individually came through, and they really shined when they began to pressure these routes. And Mystic Academy, they were not up to the task of defending all these points of entry. And honestly, who would be, right?
I gotta say,
it's an extremely hard thing to do. Valkyrie took that task with such prowess that I truly have to give them credit. It was very aggressive, but very well timed. You can tell there was a lot of thought that went into that, even though it was at the end of the round, and at certain points it did seem a little bit rushed. You still have to handle it.
Yeah, Mystic Academy, not that they played poorly, Valkyrie just all outplayed them. I mean, you could question why there were no roamers at play, why is everybody on site? And to that I would say, the basement of this map is one of the only areas in the game where a full turtle strategy kind of does make sense, because there's only roughly 5 points of ingress, and the floor as a whole, like, two stairways do lead into blue, so blue counts as one, main stair, a couple of hatches, and their tunnel. So you could legitimately have 5 players defend every single potential entry point for the attackers to the floor as a whole. However, that theory falls apart as soon as you start dropping bodies, which is exactly what Valkyrie did. But let's not reminisce on the past for too long. That nade, if there's no ADS device, could actually be nasty. Weston takes a lot of damage, but is still up, still standing, and will not yield that area.
One nade coming from the hands of Yana, which could be extremely deadly, so we cannot call that that grenade action short just yet. We still could see another feed going on, but attackers, they're going to be taking it downstairs, trying to take a little bit of a different route than what they were previously doing, understanding that CCTV may not be a possible entry point. However, entry points being spoken about, we see the defense start roaming here. The player and bathroom that quite obviously the attackers do not know about at the current moment. We're gonna see a lot of drone work going on.
The drone.
Yep, now the drone has made it.
Does not matter.
And there you go. It's gonna be naturally picking up that kill. Absolutely great timing for him to be moving on in. Diana was most definitely flabbered. Taken back by that one, but Nashville unfortunately does get the refrag. But there you have it. It's Shrady to go down from Weston in the end. So still a 4v2 going on, and Mystic Academy does have the upper hand in this one. Or are they going to fall in what they had in previous rounds from that last minute aggression?
Well, Valkyrie would be the attackers, and by extension, they kind of are supposed to lead the game in the sense that clicking heads, be clicking heads. Burn Turkey gets 2 kills rapid succession, so you see that double kill happen. In the blink of an eye, you think to yourself, well, down to from a 4v2 to a 2v2? Okay, very doable. But then both remaining defenders get a kill at the very same moment, and that's round.
Yeah, indeed. It is round. Well, it's 3-2 right now. Valkyrie still could potentially pick up this round and get themselves a 4-2 by the time they hit their defensive rounds, which is going to find them in an extremely advantageous position. Or on the flip side, we could see Mystic Academy get themselves another round and have a 3-3 split, which is a little bit more in their favor, but of course, as we all know, your scoreline by the time that you hit your attack rounds in terms of Academy is going to be 4-2, and unfortunately that's not available for them anymore, right? The rounds have passed and they did not win rounds, but they still can make this occur if they get that efficiency when it comes to the attacking rounds, such as Valkyrie did when it came to their cafe rounds. We're just gonna have to see how it plays out when the roll swap comes, which is something I'm very excited for sure. But Mystic Academy, we're in the here, we're in the now. So CCTV and Cash is going to be.
And I believe hearing that did have another kind of hiccup moment. So let me take over, if you don't mind me doing so. Right now, this is, I mean, you've been riffing on the last round of the first half for the last few sentences. So if I was to look at this very defense instead and talk about what we're seeing, very few roaming based operators. So I mean, you're gonna see an extension in garage for sure. You're gonna see some extension into what's it called? Goddammit, construction if they want to. There's a SWAT on the first floor too, but nobody's going to be actively helped by their kit for a roam game. No Motzi, no mute, no nothing like that. So I suppose Valkyrie will be mostly unimpeded. Like, they can take up the angles, the positioning that they want, because nobody's going to actively harass them. So for example, right here, if Shrady was to have to clear up somebody walk up the main stairs, they wouldn't be taking the positionings they are right now. So being passive could be synonymous with being complacent. Remember what happened when Mystic Academy went for the full turtle strat in the basement? That's what's got me worried right now. If you don't do anything, Valkyrie are going to set the stage for themselves to win the round. Korn gets the first kill. It almost seems prophetic right now. There's Kaiko. I want to say that's Kaiko's silhouette. Welcome to Siege. Whoso is that? You got another game by heart. The first kill, but a refrag. Actually, I did not see that Jaeger come in, but I guess it doesn't really matter. A kill on both sides keeps the scale tipped the same way as it was before. However, Merrimento with a nasty kill there. I guess we're past criticizing or asking why he plays Twitch. He's made his proof at this point. He proved himself at this point. Wow. Leaving us with a 2v2 situation because the MP5Ks of both remaining players are absolute headshot machines, but swapping guns is the wrong call. So make Kaiko at the bottom of the red stairs kind of knows exactly where somebody is, but due to the barbed wire, does not want to walk up too much. Position still known, so no extra cell to play from beneath. Diffuser likely to be planted in a matter of moments. Walking up the garage stairs might be the best idea. The red pings are going to be a godsend, but at the end of the day, you still need to go or to walk around anything that can block those bullets. Diffuser planted, 2v1 situation, and things are looking pretty good for Valkyrie right now. I say as Wi-Fi is going to click Kaiko's head.
Wow. Very nice play with the AK-12. You got to give it to him all the way through 2 rooms of space. So gonna have to give Valkyrie that round. So 4-2 by the role swap. Unfortunately, Mystic Academy is not gonna pick up that final round as we had been speaking about. And yet they're gonna be hitting 4 rounds won by their defense round. So this is really where the tides can shift. See, if Valkyrie is able to set the pace of these next rounds, if they're able to get those early picks, if they're able to truly control what occurs in these rounds, prevent the utility, prevent the potential hard breaches and kills they need to, this and that, then subsequently they can win these rounds. It's just about preventing as much time from Mystic Academy's objectives. It's about killing off as many players as you can before those objectives occur, etc., and thus rounds can be thwarted from the attack. So CCTV, Cash Room, gonna be our first objective. We head to, what are your expectations about this one, Hans?
Valkyrie won the first map. Valkyrie undeniably won the first half of the second map on attack nonetheless. All things considered, they're going strong. The score split is not great enough to talk about a proper momentum situation going in their favor. But even with, you know, the round ones being like checkered in between the two teams here and there, Valkyrie still do come out on top more often than not. Give them now the easier side. I have a hard time imagining Mystic Academy mounting a convincing comeback. The historical data would simply not back this up. I know that some people dislike mentioning the historical data that much because the human factor is so erratic and unpredictable that saying, oh, they did this once, they can do it again, is hardly accurate. If you were, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent, but if you were to like compare performances between different maps and like, I don't know, we use like mathematical models to predict a victory, if like they were to just wake up tired today, your mathematical model isn't going to predict that. That's not the case here because we're only talking about like within the same match, but are the players starting to have a bit of frictions between them? You're not hitting your shots. Oh, why did you not cover me? Like being irritated at each other. I do not know if it's the case, right? We're not in their comms with them, but if that's the case, you could see a drastic shift in their performances for no apparent reason. However, that does not seem to be the case. Valkyrie gets the first pick, to be specific. That's going to be Merrimento, who is just going to be the absolute goddamn killing machine that he was on the first half. This can create all or nothing situations, because if you have like only the one player getting all the kills, frag out that guy, and the rest of the team can be more or less defenseless. It's not that black and white, but the gradient of gray is still there, right? Mary goes down, so this is actually going to help Mystic Academy a heck of a lot. And you got some good gunning operators left. You know, the LMG of Kaiko, 2 nades on Spider and Natural, presumably. And Nebzy with Thermite, you want to be able to open up those doors into the bomb site, right? I've been talking for way too long. Why don't you take it over?
Well. Weston going down, kind of like we've spoken about, absolutely huge for taking away the utility from Mystic Academy. You're not going to have those smokes, so you're not going to be covered by any form of utility. Moving on into the objective. Huge. You got Kaiko though picking up another kill, this time on Burnt Turkey. Valkyrie not showing up too much on the kill feed on their first defense round. Not a very good sign, but still overall we're seeing some good things going on. We got Shrady picking up one, but immediately getting fragged after by Natural. So a 1v3 already. UNP is going to have to play full force in the next few moments. So you got Nebsy and Natural who do have shredded health. So at that point, you know, you could say that a UMP fight against them is a lot more applicable, but you still have Spider with full health, and you still have a lot of utility up on the board, so it is very possible for the attack to move on in and to make this happen. It just needs to happen in the next few moments, but oh my word, it was...
What? Wait, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was a headshot with no scope headshot. Absolutely no scope. Crazy things.
Nebsy low on health.
We see great kills going up on the board. One player down, and Nebsy was a very low health. The diffuser is going to be down. Nebsy not going to be able to pick out time and get the plant down without some form of contestation. But no. 1 HP. Yeah, oh my god, that's crazy. What?
Okay, I just want to say, I am semi-glad that we didn't get another Canadian moment. You all know what I'm talking about. Because, simply put, it would have been so embarrassing for Mystic Academy. You cannot allow yourself to lose those situations. 3v1 situation with the worst gun in the game to quarter certain somebody. Double kill, technically speaking, since the guy got put in a DBNO.
It was Twitch, G. You were Twitch, Gio.
You know what I'm talking about. You absolutely do know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. Yeah, man, Canadian. Crazy man, absolutely insane. However, wow. I mean, it took a solid, what, let's see, 5 bullets, 6 bullets, maybe even 10 bullets. Well, we'll round up, we'll say 10 bullets.
On a no-scope, on top of everything.
Yeah, 10 full bullets to lose the entire round. That's,
embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
That's a little embarrassing. Nebsy nowhere to be found. Absolutely nowhere to be found. And you relied that entire round on a sledge and a map. I obviously did not know where the defender was. And I mean, that's not even the worst part of it. It's just the fact that neither of them had the situational awareness to
5 seconds remaining.
whatsoever. I mean, they didn't drone, they didn't really do anything that would allow for the intel to be known as to where the castle was. I mean, they did not have very much time, right? It was a very strained attempt, a very stretched attempt in terms of time. So, of course, you know, you're going to want to make a rush to the objective, but at the same time, you don't need to be measured to it. You know what I mean? You have to really play your strengths, and you have to play for the gunfights. And that's not necessarily what they did. So, of course, Valkyrie took advantage of that, and with all players, castle.
On top of everything, the half-roof wall on CCTV was not open in a way that you could vault through. So Thermite, since it was still electrified, had to rotate back on through the garage. This was the last pin in the shit show that was the attack round. So many things went wrong. It's unfortunate because, you know, they tried. You could see that they did not make a major stupid mistake. The one angle wasn't watched for just half a second, and he took advantage of it. That's all there is to it, really. Just goes to show how quickly things can fall apart. But let's talk about this round, because roughly half of the rounds are already played, and we haven't mentioned this. Kills not erupting somehow, but gunfights definitely are.
Yeah, definitely. We got some vertical blade going on, and a little bit of damage being dealt to. Unfortunately, it was not enough to kill the sledge player, but it is going to be enough to make him very, very wary of what's going on below his feet. So hopefully in the future, we'll be getting a little bit more wary, a little bit more understanding of them of Lucy coming from below. But Natural picking up the first kill of the round. Burnt Turkey down for you, and a pretty big player. Of course, that's your patch player. So player with Electro Claw is definitely somebody who you do want to see forward. But Shreddy getting a lot of damage dealt to them. Thunderbird, definitely a player you want to see alive. A great anchor player,
Oh
but
no!
still a player that is expendable. Of course, Wi-Fi though, grabbing that kill for Spider. Great timing for the player. Still have the Katawa, meaning you still got the utility to push out the player from fence. It's gonna be a pre-fire though, and a 3v3 will ensue. 2v3 now though is sub 1, and Natural finds Natural gets another. Brady goes with 1 kill and Nebsy finds 1. It's a 1v1 all the way towards the end, and a pre-fire will occur for Nebsy to win the round. Very strained towards the end, and it's gonna be a round with the attacker.
Okay.
Picking up that one absolutely in place.
Let me just put it this way. The replays are going to be one straight 30 seconds clip. Everything happened at once at the end of the round. And this is what you love to see. Chaos ensuing so fast that there's no real way the team can appropriately communicate what is happening. Everybody just reacting on instinct, and then you can see whose game sense is the best and which team just crumbles under pressure. When cracks start to appear at the seams, some teams will just crumble, other teams will show that appearances can be fake. There you have it, the final kill. It happens so fast you can't really dissect it. It's just, look at these kills, amazing, headshot, run over. I truly don't know how I should tackle those, because if you want to start like Rap God style of rapid fire casting, people are gonna lose you, so then you go into a higher level, but higher level is just people be going in, people be getting kills, round be over.
Yeah, it's it's hard to follow just because both styles are
10 seconds remaining.
applicable,
Yeah,
but it just
I used to go for so fast, and I've been told information overload. That's
in-game chat,
Defuse a bomb.
maybe? Or is that what we're hearing?
what do you mean? I'm not sure I understand the meaning of the question.
I believe maybe the bot. Are we hearing in-game chat in the bot?
No? No, there's no. Well, there's in-game all chat like the. Oh, you're reading Twitch chat and reacting to that, correct?
Yeah.
There is some confusion. Yes, it's the all chat. Players typing bottom right corner of the screen. They're just messing with each other.
I see. Yes. And to combat people who have been talking in chat, I usually don't want to chat. But for the sake of practice, you know, of course, I am going to respond to criticism. Most of my friends are in the chat with me. Currently I'm practicing, so it isn't anything to be taken serious, you know?
We're just having fun. I mean,
yeah, we're just having fun. Like, it doesn't need to be the most professional in the world, and of course, it is HansIV4. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do with it. Yeah, it's not like it's ESL where we need to be professional like we had been in
rip ESL.
2019.
Rip ESL. I miss
Yeah,
them. I miss them so much.
It's not, face it, like where we need to be absolutely professional. You know, it is what it is. So you can deal with it. You know, if you don't want to see it, you can watch it.
I gotta get back in the ESL. We gotta get back in the Face It game though. Like,
I know.
Go for it.
I know. Okay, all right. Well,
Corn is screwed if they rush him.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
that's
So
the thing with the flash nades.
This Malusi is screwed. This Malusi is absolutely
With somebody outside too.
Multiple angles. Absolutely insane. But you only have a minute left on the clock, Mystic Academy. What are you going to do? You've already wasted so much time seeding out that Malusi. What are you going to do at this point? This is the question that we must ask ourselves. However, there's a lot of things to go down. So this could be the saving grace of Mystic Academy if they're able to get some kills, if they're able to play off of that aggression, off of that pressure being applied onto the objective. However, you see Mary is going to go in for that kill. It's already a 4v4. Weston is going to get downed and, of course, get taken down overall. So you got the Capital going down, right? Absolutely huge, right? No more utility players being seeded out of vents. You got Spider, though, is going to pick up one. That's Wi-Fi, absolutely huge. So now you have dirt control. 3v3 now, right? You got Trey grabbing one. And unfortunate as it is, Natural gets one just as well. Burnt Turkey able to not take that gunfight, obviously. You got Natural going down with the diffuser. 2v1 though, so Mary is at full health at this point. So it is a possible round win in the case that Mary is able to get these gunfights won. Gonna have to be a very uphill battle though. About 30 seconds left on the clock. There's 2 players sitting behind one black box, one desk. Doesn't necessarily know where these players are, and of course that's gonna bite him right in the ass. Natural finds the kill, and there you have it. Jaeger going down, and that's simultaneously a round loss for the defense, but a round win for the attack. 4-5 scoreline.
This is going to be another close game, just as the first map was. And I do not know if we're gonna go into the third map, but if we do, the stamina and the endurance of the players is going to play an ever bigger role in the outcome of the matches. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Mystic Academy kind of still trailing behind, right? Remember how Valkyrie were in the driver's seat throughout the first map, and though the advantage wasn't huge, all you need is like a 7-5 scoreline, right? 2 points advantage to win the match. And so far, I would say Valkyrie are on their way to get a similar scoreline as before. Don't forget, this is in the second half of the match, right? I am stating the obvious, but it's still a relevant factor because they are on the easier defensive side. However, I'm not sure exactly how many points they got since the rolls up. I have failed to gather sufficient notes ever since the second map. But it was a 4-2 split, right? So Mystic Academy are actually doing better on the attacking side than they were on the defense, right?
Correct, yeah. So it's actually funny because we see this trend happen in Cafe as well.
Right, yeah.
We saw this was Mystic's map pick. They did really well on their attacks, but when it came to their defenses, they got absolutely
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Same thing goes for Valkyrie, right?
Yep.
So I think it's a little bit of an interesting trend for sure, I gotta say, but you know, of course, as far as trends go, there's a lot of things that go in it. Like you had said, you can't just necessarily look at the straight statistics and call it. There's a lot of factors to it, right? There's
Humans be weird.
things,
Put it that way.
circumstantial things.
Oh wait, there's the Mary factor. That could be a double. Gets one. Aiko will turn around likely, but of course he's not gonna stand there and sit around waiting to be refragged. But I mean, still, this is gonna put an absolute break on the garage push. And now that Kaiko is turning around looking at the billiards window, he could maybe run out through the main door. Nope.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Mary feels too aggressive. That's gonna be his. You know, that's the thing. Trigger happy people are going to. He got greedy, and that costs. I mean, Valkyrie, one of their best players. Simply put.
You're cutting out for me.
I am cutting out for you. Okay, so what I said.
Okay.
I'm back. Okay. What I said was he got greedy, right? And by getting greedy like that, Valkyrie lost arguably their best player. This is not the kind of level-headed attitude you want to lose. And unfortunately, right there, he lost it.
Alright, well, we got players coming in bottom garage. You got a player from Rafters. You got Burnt Turkey though. That'll be picking up one. Spider unfortunately going down, and arguably one of the better players for Mystic. So a little bit of a double-sided trade going on there. 3v2 though. You got Wi-Fi and Burnt Turkey still up on the board for the defense. Kaid smoking probably 2 players that you really do run up towards the end of the round. Unfortunately, it won't be Wamai, but going outside, it's gonna be Burt picking up that one. Oh my god, what a player. This man is absolutely insane. I've always thought Turkey, crazy player ever in Defenders, winning out that round. Valkyrie picking up that point.
Oh wow.
In an insane turn of events. I mean, come on. It was, come on. Come on. Don't get wrong.
Especially since he was just done walking up a ladder. This was an interesting kill. Match point situation. So Valkyrie now 2 points ahead. Mystic Academy do have to get 2 rounds in a row without missing a beat if they want to bring this into overtime. Not impossible. They have shown themselves capable of winning like 2 rounds in a row, but not that consistently, not that often. After all, the scores are favoring Valkyrie. And once again, I will repeat myself, not just on this map, but on the previous one as well, as this is map 2, and Valkyrie happened to win the first one. So Mystic Academy are now well and truly backs against the wall, not just as far as Clubhouse is concerned, but as far as the entire series is concerned.
Yeah,
Attackers
I
need
do
to
like
locate
Schwartz.
and defuse bombs.
They are villains. They most Valkyrie definitely villains. Because they're it's a mishmash of the good, really amazing players. I will admit, really amazing players, and that they just don't. A lot of times, like they're just doing, and they're doing it great. And it's a great play. It's it's a great thing to watch. Mystic Academy. It's match point right now, 4-6. And this could very well potentially be the last round. Given that they win this round, Jim's bedroom.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and
Chelsea,
defuse it.
what are your comments?
Gem tends to be the weakest bomb site. Barring Bar, but we never see Bar. So if Mystic is to win a round, it would be here, because if they win here, next up is going to be a harder bomb site, right? By the nature of the map. As well balanced as Ubisoft tries to make the game, nasty natural cells, scratch that, and asymmetrical gameplay still is going to be, uneven, right? And now, you lose your sledge. We are not gonna need too much verticality at the end of the day, but, I mean, a good gun, an entry fragger, frag grenades off the board, this is gonna be huge. Burn Turkey, on the other hand, you know, the electric claws were already placed, so you're not losing too much instead of a gun and the nitro cell. Nitro cell is a loss. I mean, losing a player always is a bit of a loss. But so far, I would say Valkyrie still are on top. You're gonna have Korn at the top there in the CCTV area, and there's a lot of silhouettes around them. So if the attack wants to push from coordinated multiple angles at the same time, there's no way Korn makes that alive. At best, he could retreat and hope for Mary, and hope that Mary is providing adequate cover. A lot of damage going out. Kaiko kind of looking up the stairs, low and intel, though. He does not know that there's not somebody right there ready to peek. And that to me says maybe you should join out a little bit more. Doesn't matter, Weston gets a kill, and now this is going to be alleviating the pressure on bomb site itself, right? Because, never mind, yeah, Shreddy, last one alive, is on bomb site. So there's no retake situation taking place, but the attackers will have to get the diffuser back. This is going to put a tiny break on the push, but of course, it's just a matter of rotating, getting it, and returning back to the bomb site.
We're gonna have to keep the faith alive for Shreddy in a 1v3 situation, getting droned out in Logi, but the drone doesn't see him. Does the drone see him out?
He shot it down. They know where he is.
They did, but he grabs one kill on Weston through the window. Amazing headshot, great pre-fire, and oh my word, right through the mattress. Nebsy and Kaiko are the two remaining players up on the board. Shreddy still does have a hill to climb, but not as of a one to go up. You got Nebsy with the diffuser in hand, so there's going to have to place that diffuser down if they want to force Shreddy into that situation. But oh no, Nebsy goes down to the frost mat. This could be absolutely huge. See Shreddy coming in, trying to get that kill, but oh no, it's Kaiko to pick up that one all the way from Logi, grabbing the kill with the AR, and it's a flick! It's a 90-degree flick. Crazy, insane player, amazing shots to pick up the round. 5-6 for Mystic Academy and Valkyrie. Can they claw their way back up? That's the narrative we're gonna have to follow. Oh my word, insane plays, Mystic Academy. Great.
We always love when we're being kept on the edge of our seats by the players, by the match, and this is one of those. Just for that extra boost of adrenaline, extra like suspense, thrill factor, I want to see overtime, regardless of who wins it. Sorry, Valkyrie, if I'm by extension rooting for you to lose the round. I got to stay neutral, right, as the referee, admin, and such. But from a purely match and spectacle point of view, that would be amazing. But if there's one thing that's for sure, Valkyrie will do everything that's in their power to not see that situation come to pass. Such a flick shot from Zofia, from Kaiko, will have to be prevented at all costs. Kaiko being the top fragger on the Mystic Academy team, of course. So we're gonna, kind of what I was mentioning, in the sense that I was actually wrong in what I expected Valkyrie to do. Like I mentioned, this area right here has the weakest win rate for the defense, except for Bar once again. So I thought to myself, Valkyrie will just spend the one round there, then they're gonna go back down to the basement area where they have a better statistical chance of winning the round. They don't care. They go gym bedroom again. Is it a good, a bad thing? Time will tell, but I do want to say, since we just played this, they're gonna know what kind of mistakes led to them losing the round, and so they can maybe think to themselves, let's fix the execution instead of going back to a comfort bomb site. That's the way I can see the situation playing out right now.
To be fair, it was a really close round.
It really was.
Now they don't have a frost anymore. Right? They
Remember how relevant that was before?
Yeah.
Corn. Ouch. That's not good.
But frost is usually a really dumb operator because once you see the frost, once you get down by the frost, you'll be seeing the frost mats. We'll just say that. But regardless, we got this next round going down. Corn, yeah, like you said, takes a lot of damage, but Kaiko goes down still by Mary, who only has about a third of their health left. So definitely good on them to be picking up that kill, even with the short amount of health that they have. Sledge, though, trying to come from below and pick off that vertical play, and instead tries to go back. Unfortunately, will not be getting anything. Those defenders are long since gone from that room, but Mary picks up another. That's natural going down. Nebsy finding Mary, and Corn grabbing another. Absolutely crazy plays from these low health players. 2v3. We got Weston finding one with the Capitao LMG, and to no surprise, that LMG is absolutely amazing and in the right hands. And we'll say, of course, gonna be
Bomb located by attackers.
Nebsy and Weston, the remaining players, lift up alive. You got a lot of util, and you do have a lot of firepower combined with the hard breach ability of Thermite. Could be a very formidable combo. You just have Corn, Wi-Fi, and Burnt Turkey to prevent those players from heading on into the objective. And it seems like it's going to be a little bit of a slowdown in terms of round efficiency for attackers, but
I see Corn and Wi-Fi being relatively low on health, so the Firebolt of Capitao could be a existential threat to them at this point. Utility-wise, you did mention they have a lot, but how good is it really? 2 can openers plus a thermite exothermic charge. You know, the overlap there, if I was in an ideal world, I'd rather have like frag grenades or something, you know? I know that's not how the game works, but just to underline the fact that quantity does not equal quality. Nebsy, I was gonna have the flash grenades, I suppose, and yeah, you can flash somebody and rush them while they're blind, but is that really how frag grenades are used in this game? Answer is no. So Fragmites and Capitao with the LMG, it is going to be. Corn, really low on health, can be put down in a 2v2 situation super easily, but now Weston also is getting his health chipped away, and they're gonna need intel. They are, I mean, Weston right here goes down, but was just like randomly peeking windows, hoping to find somebody, maybe-ish. That didn't happen. You need drones, you need intel, and you actually need living players, and it looks like those are no longer there, so GG's it is going to be. Your team wins. As a spectator, this is weird, but Valkyrie are going to be the winners of the series.
Ball was dropped on that last round. I'm not gonna lie. Ball was most definitely dropped by Mystic. I really wish Weston and Nebsy had a better use of their time. I really did, because there was so much that they could have done with that. They had 1 minute 15, and they still had their Thermite up. They still had their Capitao up. They moved in and tried to make something happen, but instead, you saw Capitao sat on highway for most around. Thermite was kind of lost, didn't necessarily know what to do. They most likely were trying to drone, didn't really understand where to go, and they just were, try to win gunfights, try to bait, and then maybe move into the objective. But we saw that didn't necessarily work out. Valkyrie really did play their cards right. They wanted to win it. They just wanted to win it. So they did, and they ended up getting that 7-5 scoreline that we originally saw on Cafe, but a little bit different time around because it was their map pick, of course. Yeah. And still, I mean, it was a very formidable game coming from Valkyrie, very formidable game coming from Mystic. We have to realize that Mystic did not just lose this game outright. It wasn't a no by any means. It was a very, very formidable game. Really have to give them at least some credit here, but of course Valkyrie did end up winning things out in the end, and
nobody gave up, nobody stopped trying, and nobody's morale went down to the point where they just thought to themselves, okay, I'm just going to stop trying. And human behavior is like that, right? I'm not winning, so why am I even trying? Might as well just stop trying and relax, save my mental energy. But this is not the mindset of the winners. However, the underdog situation, you're 1 in 10,000 chance of winning. If you don't take the shot, you're not going to win it, right? Talking about a certain Canadian with the UMP, right? If he was just to give up in that situation, we all know how it would have gone. We would not have gotten the one clip everybody knows and still talks about to this day. Look at what I'm doing right now. Point made. Yeah, so I just entered the scores. It's nothing too major. I don't think I have the red screen share open for you right now. Let me just swap that really quickly. The idea being nothing too surprising, right? We have Valkyrie winning another point. Is it up to date? Yeah, it's updated. Winning another point, another map, thus 3 more points. AKA, they are now tied for 5th place with Curse Ascension. However, that tie gets broken, and CA still is the team that comes out on top. I suppose they played against each other, which is how the tie would be broken. Maybe not. Regardless, I'm not going to start delving too deep into that on the air because there's just going to be a lot of me looking at the screen. So, anything else you want to add on to that?
Well, I don't really have notes because, of course, just warming
up.
I don't really have anything data-wise to kind of bring up. I will say, though, by just trying to understand Mystic throughout these rounds, they were very erratic with a lot of their attacks. They really played off of the aggression from Valkyrie. I feel like they kind of stayed back and tried to play their cards right on the... They did win on their attack. They played very passively and just waited for Valkyrie to make a mistake, and then they capitalized off of it, right? In all simplicity. I think, though, on their defense rounds, there's a lot to have been had. They did not stand the test of time against Valkyrie's aggression, and their gun skill, of course, was overshadowed. That's what I'm gonna have to say.
Really quickly, you probably saw that in chats. Burn Turkey saying, "Hey, I would come in for an interview." Then sure, let's get this going.
It would be the funniest interview ever. I would just be like, "Oh my god, Burn Turkey, literally the same player there is to race game."
But then you saw the response. Everybody saw it. So unfortunately, no interview. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I don't mean to put pressure or to say you have to come on. It would have been amazing. Would have been nice, but hey, it happens. You know what? I will instead put you on the spot. We have, as you all know, the schedule being flexible. Players will schedule their matches, and then just have a few moments forewarning to find casters for those. Unlike other leagues where you know like everything like for the entire season, so you can schedule casters like months in advance if you want to. There's a match tomorrow, and Kiwi was supposed to be on instead of me tonight. Kiwi could not be on tonight, and Kiwi will not be on tomorrow. I am sorry. It's Kinder Tunt, a new caster who's been brought on only today, will be on tomorrow. And if you were to be free, interested, or motivated, I could have you on tomorrow as well. And I'm putting you on the spot. If you say no, there's no hard feelings, of course.
I work.
I lied. Hard feelings coming in. JK.
2 to 10, 15. 2 to 10.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
I work from midday to night. I get big girl money. I get very much big girl money.
Adulting be like that.
Adulting do be like that. That's
all right. Well, it's I gotta say, if I was to like do my own postmortem here, we had so much.
Interview.
There's interview. Should we?
Good shit.
Should we?
Shit. Oh God, no. I mean, at this point, we might as well turn into a podcast.
We should absolutely do this though, like over the weekends or something. Okay. No, but for real, I really enjoyed the way, like at the beginning of the stream, how we had like a lot of things to talk about and dissect and present and like put people into context, right? And I was expecting we'd have like as much material to talk after the match as we did in the beginning. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Expectations be managed.
Yeah, it's because I just didn't take notes.
Yeah, like, no, but I mean,
I wasn't on my game.
It's not really negative criticism with regards to the post-match, but praise for the pre-match. That's the way I saw it because I was not expecting.
I don't even think we really had very much to talk about.
Compare this stream to every other stream that we had before. And you're gonna see it's still something.
And I?
No, that I have when I get other casters on.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I'm just better than. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Perfect attitude.
It's because you and I, we just have like when we are together because we casted quite a lot with each other before. You know, we have a lot of experience with one another, so of course we are going to have a little bit more to talk about, and we're gonna know each other's routes when talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean. That's obviously it, but yeah, I mean this match wasn't necessarily meant to be anything special, of course, you know. This was just kind of everybody.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out. We're just having a casual.
So you know what? Let me allow to go for another casual last random, nothing connected to the stream. I'm sorry, guys. As you mentioned, just having a conversation, having fun on camera, because why not? Yeah. Is your hand resting on your knee? AK, are you wearing shorts? Because how are you doing wearing shorts in the middle of the winter if that's the case?
Short.
Okay.
My room is well ventilated, but it is like 75 degrees in here right now. So I can wear
outside this very window. If I just turn the camera, like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. Outside this very window, it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Even if the room was a freaking sauna, I could not
ready for the day.
I could not wear shorts inside, knowing how cold it is outside. Okay, guys, we have another match tomorrow. This is gonna be between, I want to say, Curse Ascension. I'm just going to confirm that real quick. No, that's on Thursday. Genesis Gaming versus Firestorm. Two great teams that we have not seen enough of, so I cannot wait to see. There's like some teams that get the short end of the stick and that never end up being streamed, and Genesis Gaming being one of them. It's been way too long before they went on stream, so I cannot wait to have a reminder of how good they actually are. I hope you guys will all be there for that tomorrow with Kinner T Hunts. With that being said, guys, have an amazing rest of the night. This is going to be the last stream of the entire year. So if you're not here tomorrow, Happy New Year. And with that being said, I've been Hans, this has been Jenna, and we will see you all either tomorrow or next year. Take care and bye-bye.